Hi everybody, I just wanted to show you a quick, easy way to build an assessment without a whole lot of prep work for you that hopefully is really easy for your students to use. So the first thing, and this is going to seem strange at first, but it'll make sense in a minute. I just want an image of a blank piece of paper. So I'm going to go to my snipping tool and I just opened Word and I just want this image of whiteness. So I'm going to save it somewhere so that I know where it is. And then I want to go to one of my courses because I'm going to create an assessment for my students that is going to seem complicated right here, right at this moment. But in a minute, you'll see how easy it really is. Okay, so I'm going to open my example course and I want to add an assessment. And so I can either just click here on this plus sign or I can add here. If you're unfamiliar, the perk of using it this way is you can determine where it will show up once you get a whole list of things. If not, if you use this, it's going to default to the bottom. So I'm going to add assessment and I'm going to give it a name, spelling, and a due date and a point value. I'm going to enable my submission so students can turn the work in. I'm going to disable a password. They don't need to put in a password. Give it a category and decide how I want it to be graded. I could decide who I want to assign it to, whether I want it published to students yet or not, but I'm just going to create. So when you first create an assessment, it gives you this setup tab and you can write your directions in here. You can add whatever links, whatever you want to add in here. This kind of works like a Word document, but that will display to the students before they begin. Then when you're creating an assessment, you have all of these options that you can decide. Do you want to have a time limit? Do you want it to be randomized? So you can go through each one of these things if you want, but if you are a primary teacher, I suggest you look at this one because I think this one's kind of important. Using text to speech. So if you have students in kindergarten or first grade that are just not strong independent readers yet, and some of the work that they're asked to do asynchronously without you might be challenging, clicking this to yes makes the text-to-speech feature active, so it will read everything that you have added as text to them so that they can hear the directions or have the question read to them or whatever. And you can decide all sorts of different features in here, whether or not they want to, how many times they can take it and all of that. So depending on what you're asking, you really need to be particular, but I wanted to draw your attention for right now to this text-to-speech toolbar. And I'm going to hit save. And I'm going to go up to questions. There are lots and lots of different types of questions. And I'm going to one at a time go through how to use them. But for the one I want to show you today is one that you might not use. I'm sure you guys could figure out matching, true, multiple choice, true, false, but highlight image might be one that falls off your radar. So I wanted to show it to you today. So when you click highlight image, you're going to write your question. So I called it spelling, so I'm going to make it say, write the word cat. Maybe you're using this for dictation. So then I'm going to upload an image. And remember that white blank piece of paper that I saved earlier? That's my image, because now it's essentially going to give them this picture that's a whiteboard that they're going to be able to write their answers on with their fingers. So I'm going to add that blank sheet as my image. And I'm going to go and I'm going to say, okay. And here you can add your learning objectives, and you can go through and find your Common Core objective if you want to be um, really precise with your assessment. So now I want to say, okay, it says write the word cat. The kids can have all these color choices. I want to see what this looks like. So I'm going to preview my question. So you can see that it says write the word cat. And in the question, it's going to, I'm a student, I can choose the color that I want. And then with my finger, I can write the word cat, and I can save it, and it's going to send that to you as my answer. Pretty nifty, right? So if I preview it this way, this is what the students would see. And you can see that now I have my text-to-speech box, and so it can read it.
Spelling.
And so that if I was doing this by myself and I couldn't read all of this, or I was confused as to what to do, I could have it read to me and know just what to do. Another feature of that is like if you had a story, you wanted them to highlight the sight words, if you wanted to have them fill in a graph, you could have that image saved there, and then the students can literally color and write all over the assessment question and then turn it in that way without any major complicated steps in order to create an assessment. So that's it. I just thought I would share.